It looks like it's showing that we are live. If you are live and you're seeing us, comment below, say hello. Because
Yeah, it looks like we are live.
it looks like we're live here. So
I see it too. We are currently live. Woo!
Okay.
On Facebook, we're live even.
Yes. Once again, we are live on Sunday Night Live. Woo.
Yeah.
Awesome. And it looks like we have one viewer on Zoom as well. So welcome to you. And say hello. Let us know where you're joining in from. And we're going to get started. So thank you guys who are joining us tonight for our Sunday Night Live panel discussion. We're so thankful for you guys joining us, and we would love to continue to hear your feedback on how we're doing. I think you're getting to know us by now if you have been joining us. But tonight we have Melissa Ashford Johnson on tonight, as well as Jennifer Maynard and myself, Amy Miller, all essential oil experts. We have been using essential oils for quite some time, and we have learned from a lot of our mistakes. And so we want you to join in our discussion with us. So actually, just for you who are joining us in the beginning, we have a special gift for you. But I want to ask you first, how many of you deal with memory challenges, forgetfulness, brain fog? Comment below with the word memory if that applies to you. We also pulled our customer groups with this as we prepared for tonight, and so I'm going to share those results with you. But we have a gift for you for those of you who tuned in just at the beginning. It's a spray recipe that's going to help you and or your kids stay focused and on target and remembering what you're doing, whether it's studying for a test or preparing for a project or needing to stay focused and concentrating. I'm going to share my screen here with you guys and see if I can share this this great recipe with you. It's called our laser focus spray, and let me see if I can get this shared here. There it is. Okay, can you guys see that? So you're going to understand in a minute why these oils are so helpful, but it's 5 drops rosemary, 5 drops lemon, and 5 drops peppermint. You can put that in a little 2-ounce spray bottle like I've got here. And look at this cute little label, you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can show it in the, I don't know, you guys can't see it here with my light. It's so crazy. But I got these cute labels from shareoils.com. It's the laser focus spray. And we use this in our home. Melissa, do you use this as well?
We do.
So we use this in our home with homeschooling with our oldest when he needs to get focused on especially writing kinds of tasks, any kinds of like fine motor kinds of things. He really needs to stay on task and on target. So if you want to screenshot this, or if you want to hang on with us in a few days, we'll be posting this on our website as well, where you can check that out, recipes.freelifeessentials.com. You can find us as well. But right now you're welcome to screenshot this if you want and have that, or you can jot it down as well. But we want to make sure and share that with you guys. I love this spray. And so we're going to talk a little bit more in a minute about rosemary itself and how beneficial that is. But let's see. So I want to share with you what we pulled this in our customer group as we were preparing for tonight. And we were asking, how many of you are experiencing with these challenges? And overwhelmingly, people were saying, yes, I do experience this. And I know Christina specifically said she's using Intune, the Focus Blend, and she's using Zindocrine and rosemary and thyme, but she's still having foggy brain. Help. Jeannie says, I use Intune, but I think I need more. Anybody else feel like that? Lori said, I'll eventually remember, but sometimes it comes a couple of hours later. And then Sherry said, that this topic really scares her a lot. that she has Alzheimer's and dementia in her family. And she said she's been taking ginkgo biloba. I know I'm not saying that correctly. For memory, and she keeps forgetting to take it. So don't worry, you guys. If you're watching, we're going to address all of these things tonight, and hopefully we can try to answer some of those questions and talk some more about those things too. Okay, so I'm going to pull up where this all kind of starts. Well, actually, before we do that, let me just back up for just a minute. Comment below. I'm curious, what have you guys tried to help your forgetfulness, your memory, your brain fog? Those of you who've had these challenges, comment below and let us know if you're joining us live or even if you're joining us on the replay. What have you tried to help these challenges? And so we're going to dive in here, and we're going to go back to basics, okay? And I'm going to share my screen here, but we're going to go back to the wellness pyramid. How many of you guys remember or have seen before the wellness pyramid? This is something
with the wellness pyramid.
Yes, and it's something we've talked about. We used to talk about a lot, but sometimes we forget, right? A lot of things that we do, we forget sometimes the basics. So, so I'm going to share my screen here. In case you have not ever seen this before, this is the wellness pyramid. And this is what we believe really kind of sets the stage for giving us true wellness in our lives, and kind of helps our body. And it honestly helps us be able to step back and look at the big picture when we're dealing with something like this: memory challenges, forgetfulness, brain fog. It helps to kind of look and go back to the basics. So, so Melissa, you want to kick us off and talk a little bit about the foundation here, of what we want to talk about here with these challenges?
Yes, the foundation, I think, for any challenge, not just memory and brain fog, but really anything that we have a concern over, is our nutrition. Eating right is the basis for setting up our health at every level, all the way up. The gut-brain connection especially is so powerful, and an unhealthy gut will show itself in a multitude of ways in your body. And one of those ways is with your memory, that brain fog, where you just feel like you can't remember, or you're just kind of always, you're not functioning at your full level, your full potential that you know you can. Your brain,
you're not on your A game.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. You're just not on your A game. And so the number one being is really looking at your nutrition. And we know we cannot eat all the things that our body needs. It's just possible to get the kind of nutrients that we need 100% through foods. Even when we're eating organic, whole foods, it's not enough. So when we're using our LLV, our lifelong vitality, with the alpha CRS and the micronutrients and the omegas, that's giving our body the best start that we can, the best foundation to build on. And specifically with memory, the omega-3s are so important for not just your cardiovascular health, but brain health. And memory is really tied to those omega-3s, your fish oils. So that LLV is a crucial piece of your foundation for building a good memory.
Mm-hmm. I got them right here. Yes. Foundation for us, for sure.
Yeah, I know for myself, I really noticed this as a mom. Once I've got 3 kids, and I was probably like with my toddler and my newborn, and I just couldn't get out of that fog, that mommy brain where you're forgetting things, where it's just, like you said, not on your A game. And when I started taking LLV, I noticed a difference within just a few days. And even now I notice if I run out, if I mistimed it and I don't have enough, or if I forgot to take it one day, I can tell immediately that I just don't have the energy and my brain is not functioning at its full level.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see the same thing too. So
I do as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's key. I know we kind of maybe sometimes may sound like a broken record if you guys have been following us for a while. You're always talking about the lifelong vitality supplements for everything. Well, because it's a foundation, when you look at that, you have to start there. You can't start at the top if you're not looking at just like this pyramid here. If you're not starting with the foundation and you're just trying to like manage symptoms and you're just trying to throw pills at things or throw oils at things, even you gotta go back to the basics. So that's why we're always going to be talking about these things.
I think that's a great point, Amy. Even with the oils, you can't, one oil by itself is not going to work in isolation. It's what you do as a whole, looking at this pyramid. What are you changing in your lifestyle along with the oils that are going to give you the best results?
Yeah.
I would say too, there's a reason why we are an essential oil company, say, right? And they're our top seller. There's a really good reason for that. And because I mean, we can tell you guys all night long, all three of us have benefited in huge ways from taking lifelong vitality.
Absolutely. And when I was researching this topic more, everything that kept coming up, you guys, even, people not even associated with doTERRA in any way or this wellness pyramid, everything was coming back to these basics, what you're putting in your body with nutrition. And then of course it kept mentioning exercise and rest and getting adequate sleep and reducing toxins and things like that. So we have to go back to this because everything is pointing to it. All the research points to it. So, I don't know, Jennifer, you have anything you want to share add to this?
No, I mean, I think Melissa did a great job of covering it. I think it's just key to remember that, and I never realized this until I started doing doTERRA, but how much of what goes on in my body, including in my brain, ties back to my gut. And what's in my gut, candida is something. And if you have a candida overgrowth, that's really going to affect you in huge ways. And the brain fog is going to be real, and you are going to think there's nothing you can do to get out of it. But by making some small changes in what you eat and making sure that you're getting the right supplements to go along with when you don't quite eat right, it's going to make a huge difference and be a really big payoff for you.
Yeah.
In fact, we could really spend one whole night just talking about gut health and what that can do in the body. So if that's something that resonates with you, just drop that in the comments. That's gut love. And we prepare one of those for a future Sunday Night Live.
Yes. So comment below with gut love, Melissa says, if you want us to talk a little bit more about that gut and mind connection, because your gut is like your second brain. And so if your gut isn't healthy, then your memory is not going to be healthy. Your brain fog is going to remain. And that may be related to candida, like I think Jennifer might have mentioned, leaky gut. If you've ever heard of these terms before, if you've ever heard a doctor mention those things to you, that's what we're talking about. But let's go back just briefly for a minute about the foundation, because I think one of the nutrition aspects that came up when I was researching was antioxidants. That's huge for supporting your memory and your brain health and those kinds of things. And so I don't know if you guys know it, but your oils, they're full of antioxidants. All of them. Woo! And so the more oils that you use, in fact, there's like a list of about 25 oils that are high in antioxidants. And so, and they're not necessarily your most common ones. Your clove, your oregano, rosemary, frankincense. There's a whole list of them. And no, you don't have to use them all at once, but our bodies love variety. And so if you can continue to give your body through internal usage, aromatic usage, topical usage, using those, you're giving your body antioxidants on a daily basis. And so that's huge. And then also matcha tea is also high in antioxidants. And I don't know if you guys have looked much into matcha tea. It's a superfood that we're going to talk about a few weeks from now on Free Friday, but it's a superfood that's really high in Well, it has a little bit of caffeine in it, but it's got longer effects and it's much more higher in antioxidants than your coffee is. So, you coffee drinkers who are maybe out there wanting to try to switch to something healthier that's high in antioxidants but will give you longer sustained energy, check out matcha. Do some research on that. That may be your go-to from here on out. But the omega 3s, like we talked about, Melissa, you talked about in the LOV, that's key as well, even for your kids. I cannot tell you how many parents I talk to, and their kids are not taking omega 3s at all. At all. And you guys, that is huge, huge with having good sustained focus and concentration. So, and we're going to go into more detail about that in a couple of weeks. So let's see, what do we want to move on to? Let's talk about rest and stress and all that connection with our brain fog and our memory. I mean,
yes,
that plays a role, doesn't it?
Let's talk about that. You know, like when I think back to when I first got into oils, Amy, you probably remember this well. I think our first conversation was, oh my gosh, we don't sleep at my house. And we haven't slept in months. And I was running on fumes. Jacob, my son, was not sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I felt like I could barely function. And I can remember laying there at night being wide awake and thinking and praying, God, if you would just give me something to help us sleep, right? And so here we are 3 years later, and it's made all the difference in the world. But so rest is so important to our brains and helping them to function in a really great way. A couple of years ago at the doTERRA convention, we were actually really fortunate to see do you remember, Amy, what his name was? That doctor that talked to us about the circadian rhythm and all that?
Yes, he was a doctor from the UK, I remember, but I can't recall his name.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. I was trying to come up with it a minute ago, but it's been a while back and I didn't have time to go back to notes. But I was fascinated by what he said, because he talked about the fact that if we're not getting good rest at night, basically it throws off your circadian rhythm, and your circadian rhythm is the thing in your body. And y'all, I am not a science person. Okay, I'm just not. Amy's a science person. I am not.
You're rocking it right now, girl. Go.
Yeah, I know. But so I'm busting out my $5 words with circadian rhythm. But it is basically what everything else in your body working in the right way. And so if that doesn't work right for you, then everything else is going to be off. And that includes your memory. It includes the brain fog and all of that. So one thing that I really like to talk to people about a lot, and it's because I've learned about it through personal experience, but the importance of having a regular evening routine. And that evening routine for me includes getting away from technology. So I will have about 45 minutes to an hour before I go to bed where I'm completely off the technology. I will, when I can, I'll go take a bath, use some of my oils, and I've actually got a couple I'm going to tell you about here real quick that are some of my favorites to do with that. And then for those of you that kind of wake up in the middle of the night, brain fog is driving you crazy, and you're going, oh my gosh, I got to do this thing tomorrow and I'm going to forget. Plan your day tomorrow in the evening before you go to bed. I know from experience it's something I have to do because I literally will be awake nonstop. And then the other thing that I would say there is affirmations. We talked a little bit about that last week, I think briefly. Affirmations are huge. I will tell you guys just quickly, if this is something that you want to learn more about, somebody come up with a good tagline for that, you guys, out of you two. I need a good tagline for.
I came up with great love.
You need a good tagline.
Great love. We'll come up with something. You guys help me come up with something real quick. But you could even just put affirmations below if that's something that you want to hear more about. I've got some great apps where you can have them recorded on your phone, listen to them at night as you're going to sleep, and it really helps you to kind of calm down. So I mentioned a couple of oils that I absolutely love. Of course, it's got to be Serenity. This is my favorite in the diffuser at night when I am going to sleep. My absolute favorite. I love it, love it, love it. And it's got so many of the calming oils in it. It's got lavender and cedarwood and vetiver, and it's amazing. If it's been a really, really long day, we'll add some balance to it. Okay, so serenity and balance in the diffuser is amazing. You can apply them topically. If you don't dilute, you can dilute them and then just use them that way. And then my other one that I love at night is frankincense for a couple of reasons. It helps me to remember, it's actually the oil of truth when we're talking about emotions. And so it helps me to remember whose I am. It helps me to remember that I am destined for great things. And it helps me to shut my brain off before I go to sleep at night. Mm-hmm. The stress factor, all of these oils are really, really great for that. And if you can get that stress under control, anytime that you have that happening in your body, it's going to prevent you sleeping. It's going to cause you issues during the day. So whatever you can do to kind of resolve that, it's going to help you a lot. And one thing that I would say just kind of as a wrap up is that when you feel like you're struggling with memory, that's actually caused, and there's this really great book, and it's called Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die by Carol Trueman. And
powerful book.
Yes. And when we're talking about a lack of memory, that is tied to feeling like others aren't interested in what you know or that you don't feel valued. Okay. So how do we fix that? Oils and affirmations. And if you would like to learn more about that, comment below and we'll take care of you.
Yes. I love that. True. Because how many times when we're stressed, does our brain just like shut down?
Yes.
I mean, we just, sometimes I can't find the words I want to use. And so, yes, I love that you shared that, Jennifer. So let's also talk about maybe some underlying causes as we move to talk about reducing our toxic load. There can be some underlying causes. We've kind of touched on a few of them already with our gut and the candida and leaky gut, those kinds of things. But when you're talking about these challenges, you want to look at what maybe at the root of some of these issues. And so comment below if any of you, just put a 1 in the comments if any of you have recently had surgery or you know someone who's recently had surgery where they came out of anesthesia, especially if you've had multiple rounds. Maybe you had to have back-to-back surgeries for one reason or another. In my research, I found multiple times, and I even saw this whenever I was working as a speech language pathologist, when I would work on the rehab, when I would work at the rehab hospital, we would see so many patients come out of anesthesia and just their brain would just be altered. Their memory, their brain, they would have brain fog. They would have this period of time where they would not be thinking clearly. And I saw this over and over when I was doing some research from other people who were saying that it gets worse even with multiple surgeries. So I want you to think about that could also be playing a factor in this. And, but seeing those root issues and being able to address them. Another one that could be a root issue is aluminum chloride. Now, you may think that this may not be something that you consume on a daily basis, but as we're thinking about reducing toxins in our body, I want you to think about how often you use baking powder or self-rising flour, salt, baby formula, coffee creamers, baked goods, processed foods, coloring and caking agents, antacids, analgesics, or you've had hepatitis A and B vaccines, or the Hib vaccine, or DTaP, or Gardasil, or if you've used any kind of cosmetic product, antiperspirants. I could go on, you guys. I mean, you're probably like, check. I have these in my home and I've used them today, probably 10 of these already, maybe. That's not including aluminum products themselves, like foil, cans, those juice pouches, some water bottles even that are the tins. You guys, it's pretty common now that doctors now know that this is that is known as a common contributor, to neurodegenerative diseases, which starts with some brain fog, some memory issues.
My mind.
And so we may think that it's not a big deal, the things that we have in our home that we're smelling, that we're breathing, that we're putting on, but they could be an underlying cause of our brain fog and our memory issues.
Amy, I want to jump in again on that.
Yeah, totally.
What we were talking about a few times ago, and I mentioned the toxic load in our homes and how the EPA said that our indoor air quality was 2 to 4 times higher, worse than outdoor air quality. But one of the symptoms of poor indoor quality is memory loss and lack of ability to focus.
Wow. Well, this is like a whole topic, of reducing toxins around us. And so if that's something that you want to find more about, like how you can even start there, because you may feel like that just sounds like overwhelming to start. How do I start getting them out of my home, or how do I start that? If that's something that you want us to dive more into, comment below with toxin free. You want to know how to start that process, because we can help you get started on that in simple steps, because it can be overwhelming. Okay, so
there's totally simple things you can do over time to reduce your toxic load. Don't feel like it's a big chunk that you have to bite off and go through your whole house in one day. It's not like that. There's small steps you can do, and everything you do makes a difference.
Yes. So we're almost going to wrap it up here because we have just a few more minutes left. I want to touch one more thing kind of back here at the top of this pyramid. Hey, Jennifer, Melissa, you guys one of you want to check on our chat comments and see if anybody has any questions. If you're joining us live or joining on the replay, comment below. We're going to be checking these to answer your questions later on. And hey, if this is something that you're finding value and you feel like it would be valuable to your friends or family, just click the share button below and share this, or tag a friend that could really benefit from this information. But the last thing I want to cover is something that one of our customers mentioned inside our private Facebook group. And she talked about how, I think I mentioned it earlier, she talked about her family and what's going on in her family and how this topic really scares her. And I want to share with you guys, and actually comment below if this is something that kind of scares you as well. If you have a family history of some challenges that you think maybe kind of you're headed that way or something. I want to encourage you and tell you that you do not have to be a victim of your DNA or your genetics. You are, just because that's in your family does not mean that is where you are headed. You can actually change the trajectory and change the course of where you are going. And that's a whole other topic itself called epigenetics. If you've never heard of that before, Google it. You can do some studying yourself. And if you want us to delve into that topic some night, you can comment below with epi.
Or you could put $5 word as the
$5 word. We've had some $5 words tonight, haven't we?
We have.
But you don't have to be that victim of the DNA. There are things that you can change that will change the course of that, and you don't have to be destined for that diagnosis or that specific challenge. So that's kind of being proactive in your medical care, that top part of our pyramid. And then one other thing before we go, I want to list off some oils that are specific to really helpful for memory and learning and remembering details and things like that. We've already mentioned rosemary. Research shows that just sniffing rosemary can increase your memory by 75%, you guys. This is an oil that's been researched for a long time. This oil has been around for many, many years, and it's been known as like the herb of fragrance, the plant of remembrance. And so Rosemary is your top go-to. Obviously, frankincense, the brain, the king of the brain, is huge. Clary sage is another good one. Peppermint, which we talked about in our laser focus spray. And if you're just joining us for the first time, go back to the beginning where you can see that after the replay. And then doTERRA also has a focus blend. It's called In Tune, and that also can really impact. But if this is like your only go-to, try another oil. You may find that another oil is more beneficial to you. And then clove is also another one. Again, you guys, high in antioxidants, so huge for helping with your memory. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any questions or comments from anybody? Jennifer, Melissa, did you catch anything?
On the chat, we just had a question about the application of the laser focus spray. So what we do is kind of just spray it around during schoolwork time, or when we're doing something that takes extra focus because we don't want to do it, or when we're doing memory work. So if it's something that they are working hard to memorize, an example for us is my daughter does MMA and had to remember the creed to say in front of their coaches, and she was struggling with that quite a bit. So we were putting peppermint in her diffuser bracelet, and she would smell it while she was practicing. And then when she smelled it again later, it helped her to recall what she had been practicing.
I love that. Yeah, we do the same thing. I will spray it, or my child will spray it kind of in the air. That's not to say that you couldn't also diffuse this into the air as well. We just like this because it's kind of portable and it's ready to go. I don't have to set it up in the diffuser or anything. So a couple of success stories I want to share with you just really quickly. Amy in Florida said that she loves In Tune. She said it works so well for her. She'll apply it on the bottoms of her feet, or she'll dab it on her brainstem before a meeting or anytime she really needs to be focused. And she said her 8-year-old also applies it to the bottom of her feet before school. And her teacher noticed a huge difference in her concentration. In fact, she told Amy that she thought that she had put her child on a prescription. So she said, no, just giving her oils. Also, Liz in Utah, she was using the Zendocrine, the detox blend soft gels, to begin cleansing meds from her body. She's had 4 spine surgeries over the last year and a lot of pain meds and things. And so because of those, again, like we talked about before, those multiple surgeries, she's had a lot of brain fog. And she said she feels like that has been helping her a lot to be able to cleanse her body of all of those toxins, which we've gone back to already as well. So okay, so before we go, I know we have talked a lot about this pyramid, and some of the information we've talked about can be overwhelming. And so we want to encourage you to think about what 2 nuggets can you take away from what we've talked about tonight, and that you can begin to apply to your lives tonight or tomorrow. Take 2 things. In fact, comment below what 2 nuggets you want to take away and try to start right away. We would love to hear it. We want to challenge you to do that. And for those of you who happen to be joining us in our private group just for our 3 Life Essentials community, don't forget, we are enjoying playing bingo this summer. We are helping our friends and our family get started with their own oils. And you're not necessarily doing the business. We're just giving you an opportunity to do something fun and share with your friends or your family. And so don't forget, you can go in the files section and you can grab your bingo card and you can get started right away. You'll see there all the fun oils that you can get over the summer. And this is going to go all the way through the end of this month. So you guys still have plenty of time to get started doing that. Okay, what else do we have tonight? Is that it?
I think that's it.
Oh, so if you are new to essential oils, or maybe you're not new to essential oils, maybe you're just new to doTERRA, what you can do is, usually what we do is we like to connect with you. We want to connect with you and find out more about your specific needs, your specific concerns. And we'll share a little bit about doTERRA with you, maybe some of the most popular products. Usually takes about 30 minutes. And of course, you don't have to buy anything, but we're here to help you get whatever you need if you want it. And so reach out to the wellness advocate that has been helping you or invited you to this. Reach out to us and we can help you. Now, catch us next week. We're going to talk through how to set your kids up for success this school year. Yes, we're so excited about this topic. I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. When does the school year start for you, Melissa, in your area?
In our area, I believe it starts August 19th.
Okay, I think that's the same where I am. I'm welcoming you guys from Loveland, Colorado. I think that's what they're doing. I know the East Coasters, you guys have got a little bit more time, but I know that's on the minds of a lot of parents right now. So we're going to talk through setting your kids up for success this school year. So make sure you get in plugged into that. And we want to hear from you. I'm going to see if I can add our survey in the comments below, maybe if it will let me. And I'm sorry that it looks like Jennifer got bumped off with us this last minute. Let me put in the comments here real quickly if it will let me, maybe. Maybe it won't. I'll put it in the comments after we finish. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. This was a good topic, Melissa, don't you think?
Yes, I do.
Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys here next week. Bye-bye.